What's up, you guys? Happy Wednesday. I am here with another update on the divorce case between Jeezy, J. Wayne Jenkins, and Jeannie Mai. And now, even more tea is spilling on the real reason they divorced. If you recall, yesterday, I made a video because statements were released explaining the reason for their divorce, and they sounded a lot like PR statements. Like they said they had different views and each felt like their needs weren't being completely met. Another statement said they weren't on the same page when it came to certain family values and expectations. And so it wasn't clear if these were the real reasons or if these were simply PR statements. But now Funky Dineva on Fox Soul is spilling tea and saying that he reached out to someone in their circle and they gave him a couple reasons that Jeezy has filed to divorce Jeannie Mai. The first reason being distance, not being in the same place often. You guys know that Jeannie is from LA and she seems to be in LA like when she's working, when she's filming her television shows and things like that. She seems to spend a lot of time in LA. And I know Jeezy is from Atlanta, but it's not clear if he spends a lot of time in Atlanta or if he spends a lot of time touring. It seemed as if when she first had her daughter, it seemed as if he went on tour within a couple months of them having their daughter. That's what it looked like she was home with her mother raising her daughter while he was out on tour. Another reason that Funky was given was that she likes a social media relationship and Jeezy is actually a very private person. Now, I don't find it hard to believe that Jeezy is a private person, even though he is a celebrity, because when I look at his social media, it is more like a professional, like a business social media. That post he made recently about not being worried about who's going with him, that was a rare post for Jeezy. That was a rare moment in time for Jeezy. If you look at his social media, you can see most of his posts are about his music, his books, going on tour, things like that. Like he uses social media as a business. It's not very personal on his social media. And so that statement kind of echoed what was said in Jeannie Mai's last marriage. So I wanted to rewind a little bit to an open letter that her ex husband's new wife wrote about Jeannie because she felt like Jeannie was using her platform on the real to basically bully her. So she wrote Jeannie an open letter in the media. And she spoke about Jeannie's love of social media. And so I wanted to flash back to that. This is a part of the letter that I screenshot from my email. And so it says in part, you were so focused on the world around you and maintaining an image that you neglected someone who loved you dearly. So we don't know if this is happening again, but them saying that she's too focused on social media is not the first time we've heard that about Jeannie Mai. She goes on to say, turning personal vacations into photo shoots. You are living a life all about you and only supporting causes that got you more attention, simply for the follows and liking of others, caring more about your self promotion than your husband's needs. This sounds like it may be happening again. And she says again, making him your personal photographer instead of enjoying a moment with him. So, you guys, you know, I like to put two and two together. And so I'm sharing with you again what was said about Jeannie in her last marriage and comparing that to what's being said about her in her current marriage. And it looks like a similar sentiment. As a blogger who reported on her last marriage and now reporting on this marriage, it looks like a similar sentiment. It was also said by Funky Dineva that he was told the mother has been with them since the beginning of the marriage and now the brother lives in the house. So that part does kind of match up with what they said about family values, about them having different family values. Jeannie may value having her mother and her brother in the home. That might be part of her culture. She may value that more than Jeezy. And then it was also said they have like typical arguments, but it sounds like it's a bit of a safety concern. Like he mentioned, Jeannie likes to walk the daughter to school, and Jeezy is not for that because people will then, they can easily follow her and see where she lives basically. And Jeezy's not always home to protect her. So they're saying that it wasn't a big blow up. It wasn't cheating, infidelity. It wasn't anything like that that caused their divorce. And on Fox Soul, they discussed the fact that each of these issues sounds like something that could be worked through. Like as far as the distance, not being in the same place often. Like they could literally work through that and be in the same places more often. It could cost them money because it sounds like they're not in the same place because they're both working in different places. So it could cost them money to be in the same place at the same time. But it's definitely something that could be worked through if they prioritize their marriage over money. Her like in a social media relationship and him being a private person, this also sounds like something that could be worked through if she's willing to change. Now, if she is not willing to change, if she's not willing to not put their relationship on social media so much, then it can't be worked through. But if she's willing to change and compromise, then yes, that's something that could be worked through too. But I also have to say this. We talk about Jeannie Mai being so focused on social media, but I feel like we should also keep in mind like that's where she makes her money. Like she's a social media influencer in addition to being a TV host. So when you say she's focused on social media, it's basically saying that she's focused on her business. So I feel like we should keep that in mind that social media is a business for her. But at the same time, if she marries someone that wants a submissive wife, which, she told all of us how to be submissive. So it gave us the impression that Jeezy wanted a submissive wife.
I'm a very dominant woman. I own my business. I lead my teams. I played my own manager, my own publicist, my own lawyer when I didn't have money to have those people. So I make the decisions in my life. When I come home, I like the idea that my man leads us. That doesn't mean that in this case, Jay makes all the decisions for us. That doesn't mean that when he says, how are we spending our money or where are we moving, that I just say, yes, sir, or yes, your honor. Like, it's not that. It's you know what? I think that we would do best here. I want to do this. And he takes the decision. He formulates it with our overall vision and he leads us. And I like to submit to that. I don't want to lead in our household and in our marriage. I want him to lead, and I have all the essence of what I bring as a wife to make that decision, but that I love that my husband will be the man that leads. I like that structure in a marriage, and I look forward to that because girls, it's tiring being the boss of me. It's tiring leading all the time in my life.
All the time.
I don't know that someone that wants a submissive wife would also want a wife that's so focused on her business. I don't know if those two go hand in hand. Her mother and her brother being in the house, if that's something she's willing to compromise on, that's something that could also be worked out. But we don't know if she is willing to compromise. We don't know if Jeezy's willing to compromise. We don't know the dynamics of their relationship. But what we do know is that Jeezy has thrown in the towel. He has thrown in the towel. It's over for the two of them. He's put in the divorce petition that there's no hope for reconciliation. And allegedly, these are the reasons why. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these being the reasons for a divorce. And as always, thanks for watching.
Layla.